Okay, parents, you're about to hand over somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 over the next 4 years to a landlord for a place your kid will trash and move out of the second graduation happens. And I want you to ask yourself one question. What if that money built you something instead of just disappearing? That's the conversation I want to have today. Buying a home or a small multi-unit property in your kid's college town instead of renting or paying room and board for 4 straight years. Now, this is not right for everybody, but it is a real strategy. Real families do it, and I want to walk you through the actual math, the good, the bad, and the parts nobody talks about on Instagram. Now, let's start with the pitch because it's a good one. The average cost of room and board for a 4-year public college right now runs somewhere around $13,000 to $14,000 a year, and that's before you even touch tuition. At a private school, it's pushing between $16,000. Multiply that by 4 years, and you are throwing away somewhere between $50,000 to $65,000 directly into a college or the landlord's pocket with absolutely nothing to show for it when your kid tosses that tassel. Zero equity, zero asset, just the receipt. Now, flip that. If you take that same rough amount and put it toward a down payment on a small property near campus, a condo, a small house, even a duplex, you're paying a mortgage instead of a landlord's mortgage. Every payment builds equity, and if you rent out extra bedrooms to your kids' friends, which happens constantly in college towns, that rental income can offset a huge chunk, sometimes all of your monthly payment. When your kid graduates, you're not walking away with nothing. You're walking away with either a paid down asset you can sell or a rental property that keeps generating income long after the diploma is framed. That's the dream version. Now, let's talk about the parts that aren't on the flyer. First, you are now a landlord. From a distance, usually. That means midnight maintenance calls, turnover every single May when the lease ends, finding new tenants every year, and occasionally being the landlord to your kids' actual friends, which is really its own special kind of awkward when the dishwasher breaks and somebody's mad at somebody. Second, financing is different than a normal home purchase. If you're buying it as a straight up rental or even as a second home, lenders treat that differently from your primary residence. Different down payment requirements, different interest rates. You may even need to talk to a lender early in this process, not after you've fallen in love with a listing. Third, not every college town is a good investment, and this is the part that actually matters most. Before you buy anything, you need to research the school itself. Is enrollment growing or shrinking? Nationally, some colleges are seeing enrollment decline. And if the school your kid attends is one of them, that affects your future tenant pool long after your kid graduates. You want a town with more than one reason to exist. Meaning, is this the one college town that lives and dies by the school's enrollment? Or is there a broader local economy, other employers, other renters who aren't 20 years old? Look at price to rent ratios in the area. Look at how that market has appreciated over the last 5 to 10 years compared to the surrounding region. And look at vacancy patterns. A lot of college town rentals sit empty every summer, and that's a real cash flow gap you need to plan for, not get surprised by in June. Now, here's a simple gut check math exercise I want every parent to run before making this decision. Take your total expected rent cost over 4 years, let's say $65,000 as a round number. Now compare that to what you'd actually spend owning. Your down payment, closing costs, 4 years of mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, minus whatever rental income comes in from roommates. Then factor in what the home might be worth when you sell it. If that math nets out to you walking away with an asset worth more than you put in, even after all the landlord headaches, that's the real financial win. If the math is close or the market is shaky, renting might genuinely be the smarter, lower stress move. I am not going to sit here and tell you buying always wins, because you know what? It doesn't. It depends entirely on the town, the school, and your appetite for a long distance landlord. Now, this strategy works best for families who are already comfortable with real estate as an investment, who have the cash reserves to handle a surprise roof repair without panicking, and who see this as a 4-year plus hold, not a quick flip. It is not a fit for someone who wants zero responsibility and just wants their kid to have a place to sleep. If you're on the fence, this is exactly the kind of decision where you don't guess. You run real numbers on the actual town, the actual school, the actual property you're considering with someone who knows that market. That's genuinely one of my favorite conversations to have with families, because it's not just about lifestyle content or picking pretty paint colors. It's a strategy, it's math. It's about making one of the biggest expenses of your kids' college years actually work for you instead of just draining you. I'm Hawkins-Syska, your real estate advisor, making real estate crystal clear.